Hey everybody, let's look at in part 3 of how to prepare for a lecture essay. So each unit there will be a number of lecture essays during the unit exam. One of those lecture essays will be randomly selected for you to respond to. And so again, this is where preparation, taking handwritten notes really will pay off because you'll be able to use your notes to prepare for that unit, to respond to the lecture essay during the unit exam. So to prepare for it ahead of time, you go to where the lecture is located, right? And what you're going to see at the top of the window is basically directions. It's indicating that you're preparing a 5 to 8 paragraph essay based on the learning objectives, right? And so the overall essay prompt for this lecture is the one that's highlighted there, right? To prepare for that, the lecture is broken down into segments or learning objectives. So this particular lecture has learning objective 1, learning objective 2, learning objective 3, right? So you begin with learning objective 1. And you'll notice that each learning objective has a prompt. And it's basically a more specific prompt to help you get very specific and detailed to respond to the actual essay prompt. So during the exam, you might get this essay prompt. And again, to respond to that, you need to have a response to each learning objective. So the first thing you want to do to respond to this essay prompt right here is to the beginning of your essay is going to be, if this was assigned to you, define the age of expansion and conquest and explain how, why, and when it developed. Now to respond to that, you don't need to do any outside research for this essay. It's all enclosed within the lecture. So you will go to the video, watch the lecture, and or go to the notes. Click the notes, and open up the page. And usually the video is there with the notes. Go through, respond to the prompt, right? So by the time you're done going through the video and the notes, and there's usually information in the notes that's not in the notes, and vice versa with the notes to the video. So by the time you're done going through this, what I would do in your notebook, just like for the short answer questions in the chapters, is hand write this prompt. So you're primed to know what it is you're going to be responding to. It'll help with that. So as you're going through the notes, as you're going through the video, if you come across a definition of the age of expansion and conquest, you're going to write that down in your notes. And when you come across information that helps you explain how, why, and when the age of expansion and conquest happened, you write that in your notes as well. Right, so that's learning objective 1. You still have 2 more learning objectives to prepare for, and they work the same way, right? There's a video, there's notes, you're responding to this prompt right here. So you respond to the prompt, and that's learning objective 2. Learning objective 3, the same thing, right? There's notes, and noticing that these don't have response should have 2 paragraphs. This one should say, I'll put that in later, 1 paragraph, right? This is a guideline, right? So at the end of this, for learning objective 1, at the end, you should have at least 2 complete paragraphs. A paragraph is 5 to 6 sentences. I'll have that. Oh yeah, there it is. I just didn't see it. This one, you should have at least 1 paragraph. And then when you're done with this, you should have at least 3 paragraphs, right? So that is your 5 to 8 paragraphs, right? At minimum, at least, and as a guideline, sometimes it might be 4. Rarely will it be 4, but it could be, right? Just depending on how you write. But if that's the case and you're only writing maybe 1 to 3 paragraphs, it's kind of an indication for you. You might want to go back to the material and see if you could further develop your lecture essay, and or reach out to me and see if there's anything further you can develop with your lecture essay. So real quick, just to show where this all leads to. So you're going through, again, the units. There's chapters per unit. There are lectures per unit, and for each chapter, you're going to have a quiz for each chapter, and for each lecture, there'll be a discussion post. And then when you're done with the unit, so this unit ends for U.S. History 1 during week 4, you're going to be ready for the exam. Notice how it says webcam requires Respondus Lockdown browser, so be aware of that. You have to open up Blackboard through Lockdown browser, so you have to have that done ahead of time. And so to take the orientation exam, same thing. So by the time you get there, that should be pretty clear to you. But it's broken down again into 3 sections. There's multiple choice. There's there's learning objective prompts, which are the short answer questions, and 1 lecture essay. You may use your handwritten notes. You're not allowed to use any other computers. No one should be with you during the exam. And again, your webcam has to be activated to take the exam. The exams are 3 hours long. There's no backtracking questions. So once you go on to the next question, you can't go back. No late submissions are accepted. If you miss the deadline, contact the instructor within 24 hours to receive an alternative assignment for partial credit. So do keep that in mind, but just do yourself a favor and don't miss the deadline. But sometimes it happens, and so do get a hold of me if it does happen. If you complete the exam 24 hours prior to the deadline, message me, and you can earn 5% extra credit if you outright earn a 75% or higher on the exam. So if you submitted early and end up getting a 20% because you didn't prepare and you were submitting it and completing it early just to try to get the extra credit, well, you're not going to get the extra credit. But if you prepared and earned a 80%, your 80% becomes an 85%. If you get a 75%, it becomes an 80%, and 95%, it becomes 100%, so on and so forth, right? Okay, and that's basically how this course will work, right? There'll be, again, chapters assigned, lectures assigned. You'll take quizzes, discussion posts. There'll be a unit exam. There'll be video. I'll be posting videos for you to clarify certain things on a weekly basis, as well as announcements. I will be also hosting, and I'll post an announcement, but to get specific about this, but basically every week I will hold a lecture. You don't have to attend to, but there'll be an incentive for you to do so. Just so you are able to go through the lectures in real time, and if you have questions, you can ask me in real time. But I'll make that lay that out when that's going to happen exactly in an announcement. But that's basically all I have. Do reach out to me in the online chat tool if you have any questions whatsoever about the orientation and anything attributed to this course. So take care, and let's get through this semester together. You guys are going to do great. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.